pretty easy today. The focus that we had a look at this week was done off the frame system. Today we're going to go off the push system, and we're going to work a very, very similar system. These work together. I'll explain how the frame versus a push, and it's pretty much the frame. I create space, it becomes the push. If that claps my push, it becomes the frame. So I'm not really doing anything. The thing I need to do is I need to keep my elbow on the outside. Anytime that I push, my elbow goes to their belly button side, it's arm bar and Kimura and upgrade. So for me, if I'm pushing, it's generally that I want to kind of get my partner offside and move, and I've got the space to bring my knee through. If that claps my frame, then it's generally that I'm trying to bring my body knee through. But no, as a general, there's a lot of exceptions around that. Going up or out. So first things first is we're going to start with our hands locking. Now, you've got two ways to deal with this, and it doesn't actually matter. I find that the hand that's on top, right, is a stronger hand to push. I find that the hand on the bottom is more a reinforcement, not a pushing hand. So what I'm going to do from here, nice and easy, is to get my partner's weight off their knees. Because if I try and push Garen back now, his weight's on his knees, he doesn't really do anything. So I bring my knees together. I don't want him sitting in the void. Bring my knee, and I lock it in. So he's pretty much locked into position from here. Secondly, this is better for me to help stop the grapevine and all that. It doesn't stop it, but it stops it. My head has to be on the ground. Anytime that Garen picks my head up, I'm compromised from here. This is a weak mechanic. So number one, head goes on the ground and knees come together. A little bit of a bump, push, and that's going to give me the space to be able to move. Now, even though Garen can pick up my arm, because his weight's onto his hip, it's very hard for him to upgrade. In fact, if Garen does try and, it's a really hard mechanic to move, and that's just going to give me the ability to get my leg through. So this is a long range, not the short range. So one more time, hands, and if my top hand, which is my left hand, is over, I'll push my partner that side. So my head goes on the ground, so I have a driver, my hands go in, and I try and straighten my arms. My legs are together, not open. From here, what I do is a little bit of a bridge to take his weight up. This is super important, but my arms don't collapse. Make sure your arms stay straight. Now, kick my right leg straight, so there's a valley. So don't get your leg core, you kick your right leg straight. The part that I see people have issues with is they try and move. Take your head. So take your head up, which will release your bottom, it's called a shrimp, and that'll help you to escape the position. How'd that feel?
Strong.
Awesome, thank you, that's what I'm after. Okay, we're going to go, Lewis, jump up, I'm out. So once again, frame system from here, we're going to go long system. So I can't get my arms straight at the moment. So what I like to do is, contrary to what I've just said, my legs open, that allows me to push you into the belly, head goes down, legs come together. So right now my arms are bent, so I open up my legs to have a valley. Push my partner, head comes in. Get rid of my right leg, push, and frame. And this is a really good attack mechanic to start to disengage the mount and put me in attack. So Lewis now has to deal with what I'm doing. I've got the arm attack, I've got my hook, I've got my sweep. I'm in a really good, I can switch it to collar chokes, I can switch it to punch hook choke. For me, I have a lot more options than what he does, where Jen, they want a knee smash to pass my knee. Until I keep my knee high, this is a really hard mechanic. And I've got skinny little legs, so this is really hard to do. So make sure your knee's not here, because they'll smash pass. Make sure your knee's here. And this also keeps the monkey, behind the glass as well. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you, sir. So one of the problems I have with coaching is I have to, this is what we're doing today, but I started with it, I'm like, it would be really cool if I show you guys this as well, and then I end up down this side, but I wanted to go this, and then I wanted to go, hey, like you said, we're doing chokes from mountain, keeping the mountain, we're doing guard sweeps and all that, so I'm going to try and be disciplined and stick to the game plan today, instead of doing what I normally do and kind of, hey, that's a bright shiny thing over there, let's go and follow that, you know. I have a habit of doing that. Oh, look, there's a tournament in Europe, let's go there. Oh, there's one in Japan, let's go there. Oh man, America. So I'm going to be disciplined today. I'm going to keep doing what we're doing. It's better for you guys as well, okay? So much better for you guys. I'm going to grab, Chris, jump up on that, buddy. And this is a really interesting concept. And When I first started to do this, it wasn't done to get the action reaction that I wanted, but it kind of serves its purpose. So what I find is that when people, the reason why I don't grab the belt and all that is because I have attachment, and well, which is a really good thing, but the belt can come on and come loose. And the second thing about, do you know how to do a pelvic floor? Your pelvic floor exercises, you never had a baby? Okay. That's good. So what you're going to do is it's pretty simple. Is as I start to open up my legs, you feel it. As I push backwards, what you're doing is you're going to suck your hips and your stomach in, and you're going to throw your shoulders forward. So like you're doing an abdominal crunch, and throw your shoulders forward over me and put your hands on the ground over my head. So as I do that, so now that's kind of wrist locks me. So what we're doing is, to get rid of the frame system, is I'm here. So what happens is, if you do what Chris was about doing, you pick up the hand, you've taken your post out, and I've got the ability to start to, heel hook the fuck out of you. No, sorry. But, to attack you. So I'll never heel hook anyone in again. Fingers crossed. Okay, so for me is, as I'm doing this is, you go so that my arms, my extension becomes the maximum. So I can't go back. Yeah, look good there, buddy. And you wrist lock. So you're basically going to wrist lock them. The thing that I want to do from it, I know, like some people will, some people won't. Right? It depends on your flexibility of your wrist. If you've been wrist locked by a black belt called Adam before, you can have sore wrists. If you haven't, you will be. Okay, so for me, it's this. So as Chris flexes his amazing stomach and locks, the part that I want to do is we're going to cross over. We're not going here, because if you go here, I could push you left or I could push you right. Where if you cross over, you compromise my frame system already. So this is the push system that we're talking about. Your job, one job, choose what you want to do. For argument's sake, today we're going to take the top armbar. So Chris is going to put all his weight onto his left hand, walk his right knee behind my head, pop up into his left foot, and here we are. It's like perfect armbar position. Right. And the beautiful thing about it is you compromise my frame system. So I'm going the long system, and we do a pelvic floor exercise across over. So I can frame. Yeah, and you're just going to walk around, but put your hand up wide. So see how your weight's on me? So if you put your hand closer to me, I've got this ability to move you. So so I can't push anymore. And they're going to turn, and here we go. So it's a really good position to start to attack the arm, the neck, diaphragm, whatever you want to do. Just going to move back a little bit from here. Okay, so jump back up. So nice and slow, turn to the side so people get a better view of my bald spot. Okay, so as I push from here, remember, pelvic floor, so suck your stomach backwards, throw your hand crisscross over, boom, put your hands out wide. Now, post, keep all your weight on your left hand. That makes your right side weak. Slide your knee behind. I'm going to push, bring your left foot up. Here we are. Now, once again, left hand goes underneath my arm. Right hand pushes my pretty face down. Now, we're going to do this, so Chris is going to fall that way, not that way, and backwards, so falls that way. And so you're going to go Kimura, which is really hard for me to hold on to. It keeps your shin behind my head, rolls that way now, keep your shin behind. Armbar's on. So this is a combination of what we've been doing all week, and we're just putting it together off a different attack. Okay, 1, 2, 3. You're amazing. Thank you. So you're going to feel. So once I get my grip system, you kind of know which way I'm going to push you because of the top hand. It's not always the case, but it's a pretty good idea. Okay. So once I push you into the valley and lock it in from here, you can almost feel which way I'm going to push you. So as my leg drops from here, and as I bridge, all you're doing is you're throwing that hand. But what I would do is try and get it like about 46.3 degrees. Over here. So as a pull, and now the key is you may not get the frame system here. My elbow might be out on the bad side. So this time your left hand scoops underneath my armpit. Okay, this is the hardest part that I have trouble teaching people is you've got to do a couple of things at once, right? You're going to now take your right hand and you're going to puppet walk, so pup all the way around. You're going to keep your head low to take my arm over.
Wait, so I need to keep my head on this
side? No. Right. So your head by default is here.
Yeah.
So you've got to keep my arm trapped in the head zone. Yeah. So anytime you take your head up, I'm going to pull my arm.
Yeah.
But We know that. So as you're moving, you lift your head a little bit. I'm like, I'll get my arm out. Your right hand now captures my wrist. And the Kimura's on. So we're kind of almost going to bait them to get the Kimura. And if we miss the Kimura, we're going to go armbar. So once again, so the person on the bottom this time, you're going to free your left elbow. So as Corey comes over the top, my left elbow comes through. But from here. So Corey's just going to go hunting, goes underneath, and he just goes underneath, gets from here. Now, what we're doing is we're tensioning, so it's like a cutting armbar. So he's got the head on the ground and there's tension. So I'm like, man, this is bad. And as he starts to walk around, so it's right hand head, I'm going to pull my arm to rescue, and it's pretty much his right hand grabs my wrist, and the Kimura's on. Now, if the person is strong, all you do is stop the Kimura by putting your elbow on the inside of my neck. So now I can't pull my arm in, put your head on the ground, and I can't extend my arm without getting Kimura. So this elbow against the head is king. You've got to keep this elbow here. Anytime that the elbow comes high over my head, right, I've got the ability to start to push to create space. I may put myself into an armbar, but I may get out of the armbar. So it's that, like, I don't want to go to what if. One more time. That was very good. Okay, so one more time is, as I push, boom, boom, here, no, right, nope, no, wait, so we're here, head on the ground, walk, and we're going to go push. And Kimura set up. Really tight Kimura, really easily. Elbow on the neck. If they're strong, just start pushing my head with your elbow to make this section of the arm weak. 1, 2, 3. Change partners! Thank you, very good. Finishing the Kimura. It's a really interesting, I guess, concept to finish the Kimura on the correct way to finish it. See, I had this idea, like, there's a couple of different finishes I want off the Kimura, and I'm going to attack the Kimura a couple of different ways depending on how I want to finish it. And it'll be the size of the length of the arms, the size of their body, am I on mount, am I on back control, like there's a lot of variables into it. But there's a couple of mechanics that we don't negotiate. A couple of these mechanics are like, this is what it is, right? And when you start doing these, you find that the Kimura, you start to minimize the options because your Kimura just starts to come on. So I miss the Kimura, I go to armbar. I miss the Kimura, I go to gift wrap, So I'm like, I just get the Kimura, And once you start realizing that we can just get the Kimura without doing too much else, it becomes a lot easier. We don't have to worry about all those the variables and setting up. Tyrone, jump on your back. Do you have a good shoulder or a bad shoulder, or both good?
Relatively fine at the moment.
Okay, yeah, shuffle. Okay, so I'm just going to go from the side control position from here, and this will be exactly the same as the mount position. Right. So the concept, I've got the arm in the Kimura position. Right. I do want it closer to the 90 degrees to initiate. So the arm's at its weakest point from here. Now, if you think about it this way, is if I pin the wrist to the ground and I start to roll the elbow up, can Tyrone simply just start to roll with me? Yeah, okay. So if I'm on mount and I'm doing the Kimura, and look, top Kimura, bottom Kimura, figure 4, I don't know the names, right? So if it's, you're saying hammer-like Kimura, whatever, what's the other name they call it? Americana, entangled arm, I don't know. It's just top figure 4, bottom figure 4, anyway, okay. So what I see people do is they go here, and they go like, oh man, got the Kimura, or the top figure 4, Americana, entangled arm, and they start going like this. And Tyrone's like going, man, he's pulling my arm, I'm just going to keep rolling with him. So he starts rolling, and all of a sudden it's like, oh man, I was on mount, I had the Kimura, now I'm underneath, I lost it, man. My jiu-jitsu sucks. It does. No, so back down here. So if you think about it the opposite way, right, is to stop Tyrone from rolling, if I pin it, if I pull the elbow down, it's hard for him to roll. Now, second thing about it is this. When I grip, is Tyrone's marginally stronger than me. So if I lock this in like here, Tyrone starts to strain his arm. Oh, man. If I go like this, instead of holding it with my fingers, if I hold it with my palm, how do you do that? I roll. Oh, he's tapping. That's interesting. So, and I'm sorry, on my bony hip, so I'm very sorry, Tyrone. Okay, So what I find people do is when they get the grip, they're more focused on finishing the Kimura. What I want to do now is I want to rev that down so it's my whole palm that's holding it. Right, and I want to rev this down, and it's pretty much going to come out. So now if Tyrone tries to straighten the arm, okay, so no, okay, you can't straighten the arm. The only option is he might take it over his head, so I put my elbow against his head and I rev. Okay, so that's pretty much finished. I'm going to loosen this off. So if they're flexible and I'm on the Kimura and I've done the rev and I'm here, the last thing I want to do is lift the elbow. What I actually want to do is I want to start to tick-tock, I want to tick-tock the arm down that, Tone, that way. How'd that feel? Awesome. Tracy, is your shoulders okay? Flexible? Who's got flexible shoulders? Yeah, Chris. Hey, you're a purple belt, you're supposed to sacrifice the white belts too. You're not supposed to volunteer for this shit. So where's that white belt with flexible shoulders? Let's fuck him up. No. Wow.
It's like, let's end it now.
Chris is like, what have I done? Okay, so what's going is, I'm here. So Chris can straighten his arm, like, yeah, okay. So all I do is I rev, so I'm getting a palm grip. I get a palm grip. Straightens his arm. Yep. Number 2. Okay, my elbow's against the head, so Chris does try to pull his arm back in. Okay, rev. I'm going to half rev. Don't ever lift it, because that's the wrong mechanic. Just slowly pull the elbow down. Now if I rev and pull the elbow down. So I'm never giving you space to roll. I'm keeping all my weight on that. So you've got to rev on the wrist first, and that'll give you space for the secondary rev. Let me explain. So if I rev this one first, I can't roll that because I'm rolling my wrist down. So I've got to go rev 1, rev 2, rev 1, rev 2. Don't go rev 1 because now it actually, he goes, oh, well, the hands, yeah. So I'm actually helping him get out. So don't do them together. Rev 1, rev 2, elbow, drag it down. You should be able to finish it. Whether that's mount or side control.
So your forearm, it's not underneath my elbow, it's underneath.
Yeah, underneath the tricep, yeah, closest, yeah, 100%. Yeah. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So do the whole system if you remember it. From the side control, that back go underneath down, take the Kimura. I try and finish it with a deep one. Otherwise, just do it from side control so you get the mechanic right. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so from here, I'm going to make this very, very easy. Right, frame system from here. Okay, and I've beaten you to the frame, so my frame's strong and there you're having trouble crushing it and you can't even come forward. Your left hand is going to C-grip with your thumb down onto my wrist. Your left thumb's going to C-grip my wrist. Okay, push that down to my far shoulder, hard as you can. So push that down to my far shoulder. Guess what? Elbow comes in and goes under. So when I frame, I have to have some exposure because that's the pushing mechanic that I have. I'm not going to push from here because otherwise it's weak. So when I'm here and I turn, this is a great place. So thumb down, just push it straight like this. No. And those of us that have lifted weights and are over 30 years old don't like this compression. Like I don't like I find this very hard in my body, and like anything that's compressed, so I'm instantly going to release the pain. I can't go that way because your C-grip that we set up earlier, I can't fight the frame system and your weight. So the only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn here, which gives you the easiest Kimura. Now, if I had time, I'd teach you guys how to do the Kimura. We're all pretty good with that, okay? So as with frame system, okay, push back a little bit, get your C-grip, drive it into my shoulder, over the top, and pretty much the game is done. 1, 2, 3. Easy peasy, huh?